Good evening, and welcome to Old South Church. My name is Peter Coulomb, and I am the director of the Old South Ringers that you see up here at the tables. And that was, of course, Welcome Christmas from How the Grinch Stole Christmas. We are so delighted you braved the elements to be here with us this evening, and a special welcome to any of you who may be joining us online tonight. We are grateful to be able to be live streaming this and recording it. So if you have any friends or family who didn't get a chance to see it live, you can tell them they can check it out after the fact on the church's YouTube channel. This evening we have a wonderful array of music for you. We hope you'll enjoy our program tonight. We took a little bit of a different tack and are doing a few more secular Christmas songs and songs from movies. We think you'll enjoy some familiarity in the tunes you're going to hear tonight. I'd like to introduce my ringers so that you know who's who in the program. Starting at the highest bells on your far left, we have Carly. Next to her is Emily, Alexandra, Jennifer, Evelyn, Barbara, Lisa, Debbie, Anastasia, Annie, Vivian, Erica, Stephanie, and at the far end we have Casey. So these folks have been working really hard over the last few months to put this together, and I won't tell you which ones, but we have some very brand new ringers who've only been ringing for a very short time, and we have at least 3 ringers who are ringing in their very first concert with the Old South Ringers tonight. So give them all a hand. Thank you. We're going to go on to our Advent piece, Advent Fantasy. Oh, terrific. Thank you. So we have some first timers on our tables, but I would love to know, are any of you at this concert for the first time? If so, please raise your hand. Oh, look at that. Wow. All right. Let's give them all a hand. Thank you for taking a chance on your Christmas season with us. Now, are any of those of you who raised your hand, if you raised your hand, is this the first handbell concert of any kind that you've been to? Raise it high if it is. Oh my gosh, are you in for a treat? Well, we're going to tell you a little bit about how this all works as the night plays out. We have 14 ringers up here, and I want to just introduce our instrument to you. We all play one very big instrument. We all have our parts to play, but each bell on the table is tuned to one note. So it's kind of like each bell is a key on a piano or a string on a harp. And our bells range from the very low C3, Casey, weighing in at over 8 pounds and 11 ounces, to our smallest bell on the table, what we call the D8, which weighs in at a mere 8 ounces and is a mere 2 inches in diameter. Each of the octaves, an octave is 12 notes, each octave, we have 5 octaves of bells on the table, plus a few extra, making over 68 bells on the table. Just for a little bit of comparison, a regular piano has 88 keys, so we have almost the same size as a regular piano. We are playing on 4 1/3 octaves of American-made Malmark handbells. They are founded and cast and manufactured in Plumsteadville, Pennsylvania, and then we have a few older, we don't ever say old, older bass bells that were cast in England at the Whitechapel Foundry. And we also have 6 octaves of chimes. You've seen them pulled out. The most visible ones are the really low ones on the rack. Erica, would you just give the audience a taste of the C2? Kind of rumbles a little bit in your tummy, doesn't it? So that C2 is an octave below the C3 on the table. And with our chimes, we have a full 6 octaves of chimes. In each piece, each of the ringers can be responsible for a mere 2 bells, all the way up to 20, all for one piece. So try and see if you can count them. Thank you so much. I hope you heard all the different carols in there. It's a beautiful piece. Handbell ringing of in America, and specifically handbell ringing of Christmas carols around this time of year, goes much farther back than the 15 or so years that we've been doing this. In fact, it all started here in Boston 100 years ago. In 1923, exactly 100 years ago, Beacon Hill resident Margaret Shercliffe came back from a trip to England with a set of Whitechapel handbells, the same kind of handbells we have at our table. She taught her friends and her children, perhaps willingly, perhaps not, but she taught them all how to play, and they would regularly get together and play Christmas carols for their friends. In fact, it became quite a known tradition that was even written up in the papers about the Beacon Hill Ringers. Here at Old South, we acquired our first set of handbells, and they were also Whitechapel handbells, a mere 94 years ago in 1929. And they have been a part of our music education program and our worship music program ever since. I want to talk just a tiny bit about the next piece on our program. I heard the bells on Christmas Day. The piece, you may be familiar with the Christmas song, but the piece is based on a poem written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And he wrote the poem actually on Christmas Day in 1863. Now, if any of you are history buffs, you'd know that 1863, the Civil War was in full swing in America. He wrote the poem during a period of great personal sadness following the tragic death of his wife and the nearly fatal wounding of his son, who was fighting in the Union Army. Yet, despite the despair that Longfellow was feeling at this time, the pealing of the bells brought to his memory the importance and the fact that hope does not die, that peace and the righteous will prevail. In your program, you can read the full text of the poem. I encourage you to do so because in the arrangement we'll be playing tonight, in the middle section, it was composed to specifically reflect the turmoil and the despair caused by war and referenced in the poem. Now, after the poem was published, several different musical tunes were used to set the poem to, but the most famous and the most lasting one, of course, was the one done by Johnny Marks and recorded by Bing Crosby in 1956. We hope that our concert performance tonight might help bring hope and a reminder of peace for you and for our world. So how does all this work? How does all this work? First, everyone reads off of the same printed score. So you can see everyone else's notes along with your own. And your job is to pick out your notes in the sea of all the rest. Now, I have here this very small, I apologize, I couldn't get this any bigger, but this is just an example of what a single page might look like, and my ringers are figuring out where to line up all of their notes with all of their neighbors' notes from this one piece of music. On this page, if you were the C-sharp two-ringer, you have 2 notes on the whole page, so you better get them right. That's all I'm saying. Now, I can explain it to you that way, but it will mean so much more if you have a chance yourself to see what it's like. So we're going to do a little something I've never done before. We'll see how it goes. One of the notes we have is the letter A. We have an A note. And I thought, well, here's a chance we can sing a little ditty that I think everyone knows. Mary had a little lamb, right? Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. Now, we're going to sing that together, and we're only going to sing the syllables that have the letter A in it. All right? So, let's try that together. Here we go. Mary had a lamb, lamb, lamb. Mary had a lamb as... There you go. You can all come on Tuesday night to my rehearsal. You're all in the choir. You passed the audition. Congratulations. Now, if that was a little challenging, imagine what it's like doing what they're doing, a whole concert every night. Thank you so much. A little tidbit about the next piece on our program. Once Upon a December, it was actually nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Original Song in 1997. It was composed for the Fox Animation Studios film Anastasia, and in the film, the song speaks about and repeats the tune of a lullaby sung to the lead character by her grandmother. And this plays a pivotal part in the movie. It's a beautiful example of how music can connect us with our past and with our ancestors in the midst of discovering who we are today. I see some younger folks in the audience, and those of you who raised your hand at the beginning who said, I'm here at a Bell concert or at our Bell concert for the first time, I want to issue a special invite to you folks. If you want to get an up-close view of how these bells work, maybe even try one yourself, please feel free to come down either of the side aisles after the concert behind the tables. We'd love to give you a little demo. All right. And who knows, maybe if you're on Santa's nice list, we'll even let you shake one of the bass chimes. Okay. A little bit about White Christmas. White Christmas was written by Irving Berlin for the 1942 musical film Holiday Inn, and it won the Academy Award for Best Original Song that year. Its combination of a touch of melancholy with comforting memories of home really resonated with an America that had just been attacked at Pearl Harbor and found itself embroiled in war. In the movie, Bing Crosby sings the song as a duet with actress Marjorie Reynolds, whose voice was actually dubbed. Shh. Now, here's a little bit of trivia for you. In the now familiar scene where Bing Crosby sings the song, that was not the original plan. The original script called for Marjorie to be singing the song to Bing. Well, I guess we know which version won out. 12 years later, the song would become the feature song of the 1954 musical film entitled White Christmas, where guess who sang the song again? Bing Crosby. Thank you. Thank you. Such a pretty song. In addition to this annual concert, the Old South Ringers also participate in another annual concert tradition in the springtime. It's called the Boston Handbell Festival, and it's held every third Tuesday, which will be May 21st of next year. As we were putting together tonight's concert, we were hoping to include one other fairly famous winter song from a Disney movie, but we decided that we're going to save that one for the festival, and we hope you'll come back next May to this very place to hear us play it. A little bit about our next song. A year after White Christmas made its debut, Hugh Martin and Ralph Blaine wrote Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Now, I'm going to do a little pop quiz for you. This song was introduced in what 1943 movie? Meet Me in St. Louis. Yes, very good. And it was sung by who? Judy Garland. Absolutely. In the movie, Judy Garland sings the song to cheer up her younger sibling, her little sister, who is very sad that their family was moving away from St. Louis to New York. Now, believe it or not, the original words were not what Judy Garland sang in the movie. It was Judy who requested that the original lines be changed from "It could be your last, next year we could all be living in the past," to what we now know as "Let your heart be light, next year all our troubles will be out of sight." I think that's a lot more cheerful myself. So thank you, Judy. Now, that wasn't the first, that wasn't the last time that the lyrics would be changed. In 1957, Frank Sinatra wanted to record this song for his album, A Jolly Christmas. But Frank felt that there were other lyrics that weren't quite so cheerful. So he asked composer Martin, "Can you jolly up that verse for me?" And that's how we went from "Until then we'll have to muddle through somehow," which you may have heard on some older recordings, to what we often hear today, "Hang a shining star upon the highest bough." So thank you, Frank Sinatra, for that line. We hope you enjoy this version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Thank you, thank you. We could not do these concerts without your help. We are able to put on this concert tonight thanks to the amazing generosity of those who have attended in the past and those who've contributed generously to help make these concerts and sustain this as an annual tradition. I hope that you'll feel moved tonight yourself to consider how you might support these concerts and ensure we can be back here again next year. If you're inclined to leave a donation with us on your way out the door, the ushers will be happy to receive your gift. If you're more of a Venmo, Apple Pay, PayPal kind of person, there's a QR code on the back of your program. You can make a secure online donation that way. And if you're joining us via live stream or watching this as a recording, there should be a link in the chat. And if you'd like to help us complete our 5th octave of bass small mark bells and want to make a specific donation, please talk to me after the concert. A little bit about Winter Wonderland. This is a song that was written in 1934, which makes it one of the older Christmas songs we're familiar with on the program tonight. It was written by Felix Bernard and lyricist Richard Bernhard Smith. And believe it or not, it's been covered by over 200 different artists over the years. Many of you may have noticed at some point in your life that there was a little bit of a shift in the lyrics that we were hearing on the radio. The original version of this song, the 1934 version, talked pretty explicitly about a winter romance, perhaps, between a couple walking through the winter. But a later version, which was printed in 1947, included the new children's lyric that transformed it from a winter romance into a song about playing in the snow. So, for example, you may have noticed the snowman mentioned in the song's bridge no longer became Parson Brown, but rather a circus clown. And the promises the couple made in the final verse got changed to lyrics about frolicking around and playing in the snow. Now, you don't have to have it one way or the other. My favorite singer, Johnny Mathis, connected with both lyrics and decided to include both in his recording of Winter Wonderland, and he just treated it as an extra verse. So you can have it any way you like it this winter, but any way you like it, we hope you'll enjoy Winter Wonderland. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here tonight, for being part of this experience. We really do enjoy these concerts, and we are so thrilled to have you here with us. We wish that your holidays are merry and bright. May all the candles in your windows be lit with love and peace. May there be nothing you dismay. May your walks through the winter find you near ones you love and warmed by the fires of comfort and joy. May the wonder and spirit of goodness fill your days throughout this holiday season and all through 2024. We wish you all a very Merry Christmas, happy holiday season, and all the best in 2024. I always tell my ringers, this isn't supposed to make any noise, so it's all them. It's all them, but thank you. Thank you all so much. You know I love you all. We leave you tonight with God Rest Ye.